Ooh, what's good, Commanders fans? Can't wait for this game on Saturday night. It's gonna be super, super lit, man. Super excited. Can't wait for this game. Divisional game on the road at Ford Field. We get to see Jaden do his thing again. Definitely believe this is gonna be a close game. So, just want to make a quick video here. Not gonna be long at all. Excuse me, talking about the injury report because the game is on Saturday, so really tomorrow is really like that last day, like because the games we play are usually on Sundays. So the Friday injury report is usually like that final report where it will say questionable. Like if we get a DNP, then it's like okay. If there's a DNP tomorrow on Thursday for some guys, and we don't really have a lot of guys that are really like a bunch of DNPs are not going to play because Marshawn has been full. He's been a full participant for the last for he was a full participant today and a full participant yesterday. So he was the main guy where it would be Friday, and if you see a DNP did not participate next to Marshawn's name, then that means he was not going to be in the game on Sunday. So treat tomorrow basically like it's the last. This is the last dress rehearsal. This is the last practice before the game on Sunday or Saturday night. Now they did have crowd noise in there, trying to duplicate what Ford Field is going to be like. It's going to be a hostile environment for sure. It's not going to be a stadium like Tampa Bay where we can just waltz in and take over. I have seen some Commanders fans, which is awesome, buy tickets to go. They raised the ticket prices to a ridiculous amount. I don't know how much the tickets were to go to Tampa, but I know they weren't $600 to sit in nosebleed seats. I can tell you that for sure. I think the cheapest ticket is $600 something, which is ridiculous. But I get it. Detroit fans, they're just like us, where they haven't had a home. They had a home game. They had a home second round game last year. They did. They had a home divisional game last year against Tampa Bay that they did win, but they haven't been here in a long time, just like us. They've been bad for years and years and years. They had an 0-16 season, and their first win was against us. So yes, they've been bad for a long time. They've been waiting for this moment where they really feel like they can get to the Super Bowl. And this is a box office game with Jaden Daniels, Jaden Houdini, who has been on Sunday Night Football twice, and the ratings have skyrocketed or done really, really well. So this is a hot ticket to see Jaden Daniels battle against the Detroit Lions for sure. We know the Detroit Lions podcasters and video makers, content creators have been talking spicy and whatnot, but it is what it is. Ben Johnson talked spicy last year. Armon Ross St. Brown talked spicy about De'Ami Brown. So yeah, I just want to go over the injury report here real quick. Jordan McGee did not participate. Then look at the Lions injury report today too, because there's some guys that did not participate that if they don't play, that's a huge impact on their end as well. Bobby Wagner is the biggest name on here as a guy that did not participate with that ankle injury. So he rolled his ankle in the game on Sunday night. Dan Quinn hasn't really talked about it in press conferences like that, but it's just something to raise eyebrows about. Now, if I had to guess if Bobby's going to play, I would guess that he's going to play. That's just my opinion. He's a captain of the team. Basically, I know we name captains every different week, but we know he's a vocal leader in the locker room. Perennial All-Pro, perennial Pro Bowler, just perennial professional, perennial adult in the building. It's like a big brother to Jaden Daniels, basically. They joke around and mess with each other all the time. I think he's his own agent and whatnot. So he's just a mature, smart, almost like another coach out there too, as far as another player coach that has been with Dan Quinn in Seattle and Ken Norton and a whole bunch of guys before. So I mean, this guy is a huge part of our defense. He landed on the fumble, made a big play, made a couple of big tackles in the Tampa Bay game as well. Was all pro this year. Had a really good season too. Heck of a tackler, does not miss tackles at all. Really good at stopping the run. There was a couple times I think he had a really nice tackle on Bucky Irving as well. So we need Bobby, man. All hands on deck. We need Bobby. We need all the guys. We need him and Frankie Louver out there, striking and hit sticking and going after people and getting in the backfield. Yeah, he had a half a sack in the Tampa Bay game as well. He had 8 tackles. He led the team in tackles, had 5 solo tackles and a half a sack. Really felt like he had a TFL, but I'm looking at the stats against Tampa Bay. He had 0 tackles for loss. But we certainly need him out there for sure. We need him out there for sure against the Lions. And then looking at other guys, Jameson Crowder was limited. He's going to play with the hamstring injury. Zach Ertz limited with the rib injuries. He's going to play. Cleveland Farrell limited. He's going to play. Deron Payne limited with that finger injury that was dislocated that looked nasty on the x-ray. He was limited today, so he's going to play. Ben Sinnott, limited, who did leave the game against Tampa. He most likely is going to play. John Bates, full participant. Brandon Coleman, full participant. Zane Gonzalez, full participant. Dominique Hampton. Don't like seeing Zane on the injury report, but he was a full participant. So not really too concerned. Marshawn Lattimore, full participant, which is good to see. He's just got to step it up. Is he fully healthy? No, he's not. Frankie Louvu, shoulder injury, full participant. He's going to play in the Colton Yankoff, full participant. We'll see if he is active. If he's active on Saturday night, we'll see if Colton Yankoff is ready for special teams or whatever role they have for him if he does step onto the field. And then you look at the Lions side of things for injuries. Taylor Decker did not participate. Now they're saying, the beat reporters on the Lions side, they say don't be too concerned. I think he has a child that is due to be born this month, so we'll see if that's the reason why. Pat O'Connor, the defensive lineman, the defensive tackle, did not participate with a calf injury. That definitely could help us. The Lions are down a lot of guys. Aiden Hutchinson, Carlton Davis. They just have a lot of injuries, man. They have a lot of guys that are already out on their defense. Emmanuel Mosley, Aleem McNeil, Malcolm Rodriguez on injury reserve. Ennis Rickstro is probably not going to play. Marcus Davenport, an edge rusher, injury reserve. John Kaminsky, edge rusher, injury reserve. So they have so many injuries, just like, they're already on their second, a lot of second string guys on the defensive line already. So if this guy, what's the guy's name again? Pat O'Connor is out, it's like, this is just another guy that's down, So, and they've struggled against scrambling quarterbacks. They struggled against Josh Allen, and they probably will struggle against our guy, Jaden Daniels. Cornerback Rick Stroud did not participate with the hamstring injury and illness. And Kevin Zeitler, who is a heck of a guard for them. You look at PFF numbers. I know people take PFF with a grain of salt, but it is a good metric sometimes. He has an 86.8 PFF grade on the season, which is third out of 77 offensive guards. So if he's out, man, that is a big help. Deron Payne, John Allen, they got to eat regardless anyway. But if Zeitler is out and their backup plays, their backup's not bad either, though. They have good depth on the offensive line. But if Zeitler is out, like I said, I'm not wishing on injuries or anything like that, but I'm just saying that you have to look at, personnel and advantages, things like that. So just keep an eye on Kevin Zeitler tomorrow. If he's a DNP tomorrow, then he's probably not going to play. Terrion Arnold, who's not good. Well, I'm not going to say he's not good, but he has struggled this year. Rookie cornerback at Alabama. You got to attack him and go after him. David Montgomery, full participant, so he's going to play. And Dan Campbell has already said that David Montgomery is going to get a good amount of carries on Saturday night. So we already know he's going to play anyway. He's just on the report since he's coming back from an injury. So that's it for the injury report. And then, of course, everybody's talking about, shout out to my guy Rio. He had Lake Lewis on his channel, and Lake Lewis said that Ben Johnson was talking with Adam Peters. And while Adam Peters was on the plane, basically, Ben Johnson was like, hey, you got to take Sam Howell, or that's it. And this is the quote here. Yeah, he said, Adam Peters made the decision to turn the plane around, canceling the interview. Ben Johnson wanted former Commanders quarterback Sam Howell to be the team's quarterback, in which general manager Adam Peters told Johnson that he was drafting a quarterback. Now, the only thing is that, they were on the plane, so they still went to Detroit to interview Aaron Glenn. But I get what Lake Lewis was saying from his source, and he said the guy is from ESPN. I listen to Rio's stream as well. Make sure you guys check out Rio's channel and subscribe to his channel as always. He was saying that basically they still went to the interview to interview Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator for the Lions. But basically that was like a deal breaker for Adam Peters right there. And it does make sense because of the connection with Ben Johnson and Sam Howell, the UNC connection. Maybe he would have wanted to draft Drake May, and Adam Peters stood on business. He was like, I want to draft Jaden Daniels. That's what I want to draft. And Adam Peters is a smart guy. And it worked out for us anyway. We got Dan Quinn, who's the leader of men, and that's who we need. And that's what people say Ben Johnson is not. And he would have tried to stick with Sam Howell, which we would have been, 7-10 at best, or 8-9. And Drake May, at best, 5-12, 6-11 at best this year. For sure. So Adam Peters made the right decision. He stood on business, and Ben Johnson's just not that guy. And Ben Johnson was disrespectful, too, to say, it's basketball guys in here thinking they know football, and that he was turned off by the Commanders ownership group for being basketball guys, and it was part of the reason why he turned the job down last year. So, yeah, man, I'm just happy that we didn't take Ben Johnson, and that this could be somewhat of a revenge game against Ben Johnson. It really could be. it could be that way. You could take it personal. Now I know Jaden Daniels, he may not take it personal or anything or care, but I know Adam Peters and those guys take it as disrespect. Magic Johnson, Josh Harris is a basketball guy. Bob Myers, who's smart and helped us out in the process for searching for a coach and stuff like that, and guys in the front office. So those are my thoughts on it. Armon Ross St. Brown was disrespectful to De'Ami Brown and brought him up unprompted in an interview. Was like, De'Ami Brown, I believe, who was drafted after me, and he has like 0 catches and stuff like that. So it is what it is. And De'Ami had a heck of a game. Documentary De'Ami had a heck of a game against the Buccaneers in a big spotlight on national TV in a playoff game on the road in a hostile environment for the Bucs because we took over their stadium. But De'Ami had a huge game in a screen pass that he caught and ran for and broke a tackle and juked the guy. Andrew Wiley pointed and laughed at the defender. De'Ami Brown had a great game. So use that fuel to the fire, De'Ami, for sure. And us just use the fuel to the fire against Ben Johnson too to slow down their all. It's going to be a tall task, of course, but just to win the game in general. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. As always, Hail Commanders, shout out to Rio and Lake Lewis for giving the good information for sure. And like I said, Lake said that he, the source that he has within the Commanders building or wherever works with ESPN, has worked with ESPN for years. So I guess you can kind of try to put 2 and 2 together who the source is. Some people don't believe what Lake says, but I do believe what Lake said. I do believe what he said. I feel like there's validity to what he said for sure. So, all right, you guys, as always, Hail Commanders. Peace.